I briefly worked at Loro here in Austin.
Yeah.
So, I learned a little bit there about, the way they do the ribs and just barbecue in general, how to cut a brisket. I'll never forget the first time I cut a brisket there, and they're just like, dude, don't ever do that again. I was like, oh shit. Okay. And then they do it on purpose. That's why I love kitchens. A good chef will do this. They say, okay, do something. Right. And then you do it and they watch you closely and say, okay, but instead of just showing you first, they want to see where you're at to see where to adjust you. And I'll never forget that. I cut that meat and I was just like, no, you got to grab it right, pull it in, get that right cut so that it lines up. And then it's consistent. That was the key also of service of, we got to make these consistent. We're weighing it out constantly. And then you get good at it. Then you're just not, you're guessing before you even throw it on the scale. I've got this already. So that was cool, man. That was really good experience there as far as that goes. So what sort of, are there any unique traits about Truth that stick out for you, right? Like for what people want to go for y'all's barbecue? What makes it say like this over the others?
And I don't know, just because everybody's here is like, we're all super passionate about it, and we don't try to cut corners. We just put in the extra work and, those long hours and like not trying to rush cooks and stuff like that. It's just a lot of like, well, now there's more barbecue places doing that and like staying true to the craft of barbecue. Like Austin, you have a plethora of it up there, but I feel like we caught on at a good time when it was getting big, and it was kind of we were able to kind of like help set a standard for a group of guys coming in, and just like only offset smokers and wood, no electricity, no gas, no anything like that. Like when people eat barbecue, especially in Texas, they want like an authentic experience. Like they can say, oh man, I did this, I waited in the line, I saw them cooking on the pits, they were loading the fire, and like it's a whole like theater production. And I think that makes us unique, especially in Brenham. Brenham is like super small. It's like 2 tables. Yeah, that was like what I visualized. Like if I went to a barbecue restaurant, like it was a shack on the side of the road, it was like not impressive to the eyes. And then you go in there and you have this badass meal. Like it makes you appreciate the food a little bit more. So 100%. It's kind of like, it's kind of like what I wanted to give that experience to people. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to like Mexico City or any places like that when you're just eating street food, like just
my mom's from Mexico City. Yeah, I've been there a lot.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh yeah. So and like you're like, man, shit, it's like you guys are making that here. Like it like blows your mind, like that experience. Totally. When you for that versus going into like a big production of like a restaurant, a steakhouse, like you expect the food to be good, and then it's good and you're like, oh, it was good. That experience is like way different and you appreciate it more. So that's kind of something that I wanted to recreate with barbecue.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Yeah. The truth, the truth. I mean, the truth behind it. Hello. Yeah. It's just now hitting me. This name, it's just now hitting me here. Yeah. I mean, that absolutely makes sense. And Dan, when you're in Mexico City, shit, anywhere. I've lived in Veracruz. I've been all over Mexico. I got family all over, but I tell people the best meals I've had literally sitting on a paint bucket, flipped upside down, around a person that's cooking in an old, you don't even want to know what they're cooking at. I mean, it's so like, sanitary, forget it. And just literally out of another paint bucket, they're grabbing masa and making, a quesadilla right there, which is a quesadilla you've never had before, right? It's a different idea of what you think a quesadilla. It's blue. They make it right there on the spot. It's the best thing you ever had in your life. And it costs next to nothing. That's another thing too. The price of the stuff is unbelievable. And there's no pretension behind anything they're making, right? It's just like, this is food. I'm making
this is what we do. This is what I like to make.
Yeah. It's for the workers who are working day after day, right? It's like a routine. It's the food that's like a routine. You constantly, right? It's just this. Yeah, I love that, man. That's such a cool philosophy to have, and the barbecue is very much important about that. You say about cutting corners. I'm curious. Let's reverse engineer that. What are some of the corners that people cut out there in the barbecue world?
Just like not trimming, not like paying attention. Like you want all if you're cooking like in for the masses, like in Houston, we have 5 pits. Like any of the places that are cooking on a lot of pits, you want, in order for the cook to be good and everything be consistent, because our goal here is to be consistent. Like so-and-so first in line gets served something equivalent, or if not better, to the guy at the end of the line. So in order to do that in these pits, you want all the briskets to be shaped the same. You want all the briskets to have the same amount of fat on top of them. You want to be like nice and tapered so the airflow goes over it the same way that all the other ones do. I mean, there's a lot of science behind it that people, it's not just throwing an untrimmed brisket that you just unwrap on the pit and, just seasoning it. There's a lot more to it, to being like consistent and cranking out the same product over and over again. So I think that's probably the most, like, one of the more crucial ones of not cutting corners. It's just very detail oriented. Like, you want everything to be, there's a reason for everything that we do with the meats and how we cook them.